Next resource person has arrived. All the students, please settle down, and can you occupy the front seats? नीचे रखिए सर, नीचे रखिए। फोन करना बात लेंगे। तीनों अंदर स्पीकर्स हैं, तीनों स्पीकर सर्किट मारता है। मैं सेट ऑफ कर दे दीजिए तो फिर मैंने नहीं कर तो आप वहां से ले लो, अभी से मैंने उठा दिया वहां से। All of you, please settle down. All the students are requested to please settle down. Afternoons are like life's little pit stops. Take a break, recharge, and get ready for the rest of the journey. Good afternoon, everyone. We hope all our participants are all charged up after the lunch break. Moving on to session third for the day. Session 3 is on data trails you never knew you left. A technical look at digital privacy. To deliberate on the topic today, we have amongst us Dr. Ehtiram Raza Khan, Associate Professor at Jamia Hamdard. We would first like to felicitate sir for that. May I request Dr. Azrad Usmani, HOD Management DBIT, to felicitate Dr. Ehtiram Raza Khan sir with a memento. Can we have a huge round of applause here? Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Amandeep Singh Arora, HOD CSNIT, to felicitate Dr. Khan with the planter. Can we have a huge round of applause here, please? Thank you, sir. You may please take your seats. About our resource person, Dr. Ehtiram Raza Khan, sir, is working as a senior academician at Jamia Hamdard, Delhi. He has over 26 years of rich experience and has done PhD in the field of software engineering and neural networks. His research areas are software engineering, computer graphics, machine and deep learning, big data, analytics, cybersecurity, and IoT. He has been actively involved in training and placement activities as head and has offered consultancies to 15 plus companies. He has over 45 international and Indian patents and copyrights against his name. He has written over 24 books and 30 book chapters. He has also 175 plus research papers in SCI, Scopus, Springer, and peer-reviewed journals. He has so far been in 100 plus invited talks and 50 plus keynote addresses. He's a famous international speaker too. He is COPI in 2 Saudi Arabia projects and has several programs on Doordarshan and Akashvani. We welcome you, sir. Please address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. आवाज नहीं आई, वापस नहीं आई, didn't come back. That's the way. Because this is one of the most famous colleges on the social media. And this is one of the most, let's say, dedicated and a disciplined college. In close edge. So today's session would be strategies, privacy, our data, and I would appreciate if please now stop talking. मैं भी teacher हूँ. I've been teaching since 1995, 90. first journey was Chaudhary Charan Singh University. So it has to be, everyone will have to listen. तो 40 मिनट है हमारे पास, 30-40 मिनट उसमें हमें डिस्कस करना है और सब बहुत इंटेलिजेंट हो, जेन ज़ी इज इंटेलिजेंट राइट नाउ, बिकॉज जो टॉपिक हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं एक आप सब लोग बहुत अच्छे से हैंडल करते हो. आप लोग को पता है कुकीज क्या है, आप लोग को ये पता है कुकीज को कैसे हैंडल करना है, कैसे हटाना है, फर्स्ट पार्टी को कैसे हमको यूज करना है, एंड यू विल नो अ लॉट अबाउट दिस डेटा, यू नो अ लॉट अबाउट लेट्स से डीपी. तो सवाल ये है we are almost posting everything. Facebook आप सारी पिक्स डाल देते हैं, सारे वीडियोस डाल देते हैं, तो we face so many problems there. Deepfake कितने लोगों ने नाम सुना है? Deepfake आपकी वॉइस क्लोनिंग के लिए आप अपने डाल देते हैं और उसके बाद में चल रही है. Youngsters, they make use of your voices, they make use of your videos, and they are cloning that. कितने लोग के घर पे कॉल से कि बच्चा की एक्सीडेंट हो गया है, आपका बच्चा किडनैप कर दिया गया है, and those are the hackers, those who are after getting money from your parents. So there comes a time when technology is running very fast, and you, the technocrats, have the responsibility of dealing with that. सब लोग IT के हो, तो obviously अब मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ आप सब लोग की GitHub लाइब्रेरी है और उसके अंदर जो प्रोजेक्ट्स आप लोग कर रहे हो हमने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था. वो प्रोजेक्ट्स हमने 2000 लाइन्स कोड, 2000 लाइन्स लिखी है हम लोगों ने कोड के लिए. मतलब the first AI system in 1996 using C, C++, and then we had Prolog. और वही कोड आप पाइथन में लिख रहे हो, 10 या 12 लाइन्स में आप लोग लिख लेते हो. The strength is with you. You have that power, you have that strength. So let us take the session forward today. It's going to be relevant. बहुत ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लेंगे, 30-40 मिनट, क्योंकि आप सब लोग को आप पता है कैसे इंस्टाग्राम की सेटिंग्स आप सेट करते हैं, कैसे फेसबुक की सेटिंग्स को करते हैं. So, हम अपनी डेटा को सिक्योर, because here we want the data to be secure. So let us begin this. So I would again appreciate अगर आप लोग बातें नहीं करेंगे, एंजॉय करेंगे, क्योंकि इंटरेस्टिंग होगा टॉपिक ये. आप देखोगे तो आप सबसे रिलेटेड टॉपिक है, and it is on digital privacy, the price of free, how technology collects, stores and monetizes the person using it. आपको पता भी नहीं जो चीज आप अपलोड कर रहे हो वो चीजें नहीं है, सेलिंग दैट डेटा. भी नाउ एंड देन सुनते नहीं सुनते आपकी कंपनी में डेटा ब्रीच हो गया, द डेटा हैज बीन सोल्ड ऑफ, और कितना खतरनाक है. सो दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव gathered here to discuss, and the topic that basically we'll be talking the data, permissions that you are giving to applications, spaces and the location. तो ये सब चीजें हमारी जा रही हैं. चल एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं. लेट्स टेक अ वेरी स्मॉल एग्जांपल, एंड दैट इज you order a pizza, you ordered a pizza, और वो ऑर्डर करने से आपकी लोकेशन चल गई, दुनिया लोकेशन पता है आप उस वक्त कहाँ हैं. And think about the location, how important is the location. Those who have followed the Indian world, location was so important, precise location, and you were able to eliminate the entire leadership. So location, even you're your face, you are having the biometric at places where every data that is going, and it is going to be dangerous at time. So the slide that we start with, how technology is collecting the data, is storing it, and is monetizing it. वो बेच रहे हैं उस data को. So this is an ordinary Tuesday, suppose quietly recorded. आप सब लोग normal day में लगता है सबका. Everyone uses the Then you check the traffic. आप लोग ये चेक करो सबसे पहले कि जब मैं ओला उबर करने वाला हूँ कितना टाइम लगेगा. You are checking that. Then you are reading the news. You also go to websites and try and read. आज नया तो नहीं हुआ. आज कहाँ बारिश हो रही है, आज फ्लडिंग कहाँ पे है, कहाँ पर है. Then comes the lunch time. You are ordering the lunch. Address, you are giving your address, you are giving your card details, you are giving your the time when you get hungry. So, so you are posting the photos. Every one of us is doing that. 7:30, we are posting a photo, and through that photo, we are giving our face, a time stamp, just which we are doing, and who you are with. Is going to data in the coming time. अभी देखते हैं कैसे इसको यूज करेंगे वो. And phone on the charger. You are all charging the phones. Fine. So same spot every night. होता है वही चार्जर वही बेड के पास लगा हुआ होता है. लगाते हैं. Same spot every night. This is going to sleep. So these are the steps that you see you are doing during the day, right from 7 a.m. in the morning to the night time when you're charging the phone. You see all of this data is going somewhere. Last line that you see on the screen, 6 ordinary actions together to describe where you live, where you live, where you love. This is very serious. Right through our actions throughout the day, they are taking the details. They can store the details about us. And this is what we are going to talk about. So these are the 6 things on which the session today is to concentrate on. Keys, the false signs that let us recognize, let strangers follow you. कितनी बार होता है कि कुकीज इस्तेमाल किए सबने? कुकीज इस्तेमाल करते हो? एक बार आप फॉर्म भरा, अगली फॉर्म भरा हुआ मिलता है. Your details, your password, they're coming on the screen, and we are lazy people right now. तो हमको ये होता है, it happens with every one of us. तो जो रेडीमेड चीजें भरी भराई फिल्ड चीजें मिल रही हैं, we use that. So cookies, there are constructive cookies that we'll be using. जो first party cookies होंगी, हम उनकी बात करेंगे. First party cookies, they're all accepting. अभी हम बाद में भी ये बात करेंगे जो थर्ड पार्टी होंगी, उनको रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर सकते हैं. तो उसके लिए एप्लीकेशन सेटिंग में जाइए. एप्लीकेशन सेटिंग ब्राउजर सेटिंग्स में जाकर थर्ड पार्टी cookies को ब्लॉक कर दें. So you will be having the first party cookies, which are very important for you. देखेंगे अब इनका फायदा क्या होगा. What will be the benefit? So here there are 6 things which we have to talk about today. The time is short, but we try. Data gives away what the envelope gives away when nobody opens the letter. Envelope के ऊपर अपनी डिटेल्स होती हैं. अंदर क्या है, होता है जो डिटेल्स हैं. Those details are very critical. When the envelope gives away, no one opens the letter. ऐसे कहते हैं आप लोग जब पार्सल something to offer. तो क्या करते हैं, what they do is throw the box away. And that box contains the data about you. तो आजकल क्या करने लगे हैं हम लोग, देखते हैं कहा जाता है destroy that slip. उसके ऊपर हम ब्लैक कर देते हैं, उसको फाड़ देते हैं, उसके बाद हम डिब्बे को फेंकते हैं. So metadata is another thing that can be crucial. We'll be looking at ये वो permissions हैं जो different applications use कर रहे हैं, उनकी permissions. हम सब लोग के बहुत आदत है कैमरे की. कैमरा है, तो क्या कैमरे की परमिशन सभी को दी जा सकती है? कुछ ऐप्स को तो दोगे आप। अगर कोई ऐप ऐसा आपसे कैमरा मांग रही है जिस ऐप में आपको कैमरे की जरूरत नहीं है, यू वुड नेवर ओपन दैट, नेवर गिव द परमिशन. So we'll be talking about the permissions, what the word allowed actually means. Then our face becomes a number that can be searched at a scale. Face biometrics में इस्तेमाल हो रहा है. From your selfies, we are using that. We are using our face at so many places, and we'll see how dangerous it is. Then your location, why movement trail and the name are the same thing. Your location can be very dangerous. Everyone can track that. The companies are tracking that. And then what to do? 10 changes that can take place under an hour in total. So we'll be talking about these things. So let's talk about this, the bargain. Nothing online is free. You will all agree, nothing is free. You simply never receive an invoice. और आप ये देखोगे कि आपको जो चीज लगती है, this thing is free, but they are in a way selling off your data. So you are not paying for that, but you are paying a heavy price that we'll be looking at. So you are not the customer, you are the inventory for them. A rough scale of global data broker industry, analyst estimates for 2026 range from $300 billion to $465 billion, 4,000 plus companies registered as United States alone. So many companies, around 2,000 plus in India. 700 sit in the California's public registry alone. So the deal is simple and almost never stated out loud. You get a service that costs you nothing, and the company gets a stream of facts about you that it can rent out. कंपनी आपका जो डेटा होगा उसको बाद में रेंट आउट करेगी, उसको सेल ऑफ करेगी, एंड दिस इज वेयर you are the customer, you're not the customer anymore, you are the inventory. So you look at these three steps, if they are visible to you. I'm afraid इस slide में दिखाई दे रहा है, steps दिखाई दे रहे हैं. Steps are visible? Okay. So 3 steps repeated a few billion times a day, collecting every tap that we do on the laptop, every scroll that we do. तो पे क्या करते हैं हम की से, कीबोर्ड से और हमारा जो भी स्कैन माउस है और इन सब से हम क्या कर रहे हैं, वी आर स्क्रॉलिंग. सो वी आर टैपिंग, वी आर स्क्रॉलिंग, वी आर पॉजिंग, वी आर परचेजिंग. It becomes a time-stamped row. Sensors add location. And our problem is compounded with the use of sensors. Everywhere there are IoT sensors now. IoT समझते हैं? IoT sensor is door में लगा. You will come there, the door will open. You go to the malls and that door opens up. Right? And there's so many. The wheelchair that the hospitals are using. As soon as you sit in the wheelchair, it records the temperature, it records oxygen level and all. So the IoT sensors are everywhere. How many of you have heard about smart cities? Smart cities, the dream of honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, 100 smart cities. स्मार्ट सिटीज में क्या होगा, सब जगह सेंसर होंगे. जैसे डस्टबिन भरेगा नगर निगम के पास, देयर वुड बी अ मैसेज, देयर वुड बी अ बीप, द डस्टबिन इज फुल नाउ. When will come the Nagar Nigam and will take away the dustbin, as is happening in Western countries. So smart city, it will be smart charging everywhere. Smart charging. अच्छा, दिल्ली में आप लोगों ने स्मार्ट चार्जिंग का देखा है. There are battery chargers now. I went to Akashvani many times. और वहाँ सबसे अच्छी चीज मुझे लगती है, they have gifted everyone. All they have gifted cars, electric cars. So it's a change that is coming. Everything is changing. So when the dream of 100 smart cities and the dream of industrial revolution, Industry 5.0 सुना है सबने? Industry 5.0, Industry 6.0, जापान का सुना है, everything is AI based. तो इंडिया में वो टर्म आ रहा है, machine in India would be linked to AI. This is what 2020 says तो आप लोग जल्दी से पढ़ाइए बच्चों को, क्लास 8 क्लास 10 से कीप ऑन इंट्रोड्यूसिंग इट इन द सिलेबस. This is what converging technologies like IoT and they are being taught to you. अभी कौन से कोर्स के बच्चे हैं? MCA, BTech, MCA, BCA, MCA, BCom also. Okay. तो AI कहीं सुना है बच्चों? AI वर्ड सुना है? कहाँ यूज कर रहे हैं हम AI? रियल लाइफ चैट जीपीटी कर रहे हैं. और कहीं सुना है? एलेक्सा किया सबने? एलेक्सा 2+2, Alexa play the song. So everything is happening. So once everything is happening now, and we are looking for 100 smart cities, we are looking for industrial revolution. We are talking about 5.0, 6.0. So you see here, everything is happening. We're collecting the data on the side. Systems joined to other records using the email, the phone number, and the device ID, as long as retention policy allows. Then last point is important. You see on the last point, request the middle part of this, please. Stop talking. So you see here, they are monetizing your data. Fact there's audience segments of auctioned in milliseconds every time a page loads. And they used to price you, score you, and screen you, and rank you. So what the company is gaining from you, they are getting the money out of your data. So you see here, these are the 6 parties. These are the 6 parties who are involved right now. The application itself. जिस एप्लीकेशन पे बैठ के आप लोग काम करते हो, कोई एप्लीकेशन तो आप लोग ले रहे होंगे. इंस्टा ले ली, फेसबुक ले लिया, सपोज आप टेली यूज कर रहे हो, सपोज आप कोई वेब ब्राउजर यूज कर रहे हो, कोई एप्लीकेशन आप इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो. देन देयर आर द एड नेटवर्क्स. ये एड नेटवर्क्स आपके डेटा को thousands of sites and apps, the same identifier for you everywhere it runs. Then there are SDK, software development, जो इस डेटा को और आगे लेके जा रहे हैं. Analytics, crash reporting, distribution, silent passengers. Then there are data brokers. Now these are the data brokers who are buying, merging, enriching, and reselling your data. No account, no login, no relationship with them. आपका इनसे कोई रिश्ता नहीं है, but still these brokers are selling your data in the platforms which you are using, operating system, application store, browsers. They set the rule everyone else play by, and then our states where we live, they can compel disclosure or simply buy the same data on the open market. So these are the 6 parties who are involved here. मेरा काम सिर्फ फर्स्ट वाले पे है जहां एप्लीकेशन पे मैं काम कर रहा हूं. उसके अलावा सब लोग हमारे डेटा के लिए ताक लगाए बैठे हैं. द एड नेटवर्क जिसके ऊपर डेटा नेटवर्क पे चलेगा, SDK vendors, data brokers, platforms, they're all benefiting. So here is what cookie, we'll talk about the cookie. जिस cookie की बात कर रहे हैं उसका एक structure है, उसका shape है. A cookie is a small piece of text that a website asks your browser to keep and hands back to the next visit. Just एक line पढ़िएगा सामने, जो line मैंने पढ़ी. If you can just read that one line. Cookie is a small piece of text that a website asks your browser to keep. तो आपके ब्राउजर से ये कहा जा रहा है कि इस डेटा को आप बचा के रखें and hands back to you on the next visit. By itself, it has no history. Usually, it holds exactly a useful thing, a random identifier. Right hand side पे you see this is how internally a cookie looks like. हमें इससे मतलब नहीं है, लेकिन cookie का structure ये है. This is how it is stored. Name of the cookie, the value of the cookie, that is a garbage value. किस साइट पर जाकर हम काम कर रहे थे, shoe shop. When it will expire. So when we talk about cookie, Now, this is what we were said. We enable all the first party cookies and we disable all the third party cookies through the settings itself. If you look on the left hand side, set by the site you deliberately choose to visit. जिस साइट को आपने विजिट किया है, it keeps you logged in between the websites. आपको बार बार इंफॉर्मेशन टाइप नहीं करनी है, आपका डेटा जो है वो दोबारा जब आप जाओगे तो आपको मिल जाएगा. Language readable only by that site. Delete them and the words that exists. We will have do all the process. Similarly, the third party set by a company whose code the site on its behalf. ये third party है और इसको हम पहले restrict करेगा. Set by the site on its behalf. You never chose to visit them, and so last line here. This is the part people mean when they say tracking. अब आपको ट्रैक किया जाएगा. जो पार्ट हम बात करेंगे वो हम करेंगे कुकीज के थ्रू. दे आर ट्रैकिंग यू, दे आर फॉलोइंग यू, दे आर फॉलोइंग एंड सेलिंग योर डेटा. सो nobody shared anything. This is precisely the point. अगर आप देखो, you browse a shoe shop looking at a pair of trainers. आप एक शू शॉप की वेबसाइट पे गए और आपने वहां पे ऑर्डर करना है आपको. Number 2, that page loads a network's script. Add the script, one line of code of the shop pasted in months ago. Number 3, the script stores the identifier. ये identifier पिछली उसमें बात की थी, उसका एक स्ट्रक्चर दिखाया था. That script stores the identifier on the browser under the Edge network's own name. थोड़ी देर के बाद, 1 घंटे के बाद, again do it. You read a new site, it happens to have the same networks. The network reads the same identity, 7F3A9C again, and now that both visits belong to one person. The cookie उसी person की भी recognize that. So when do they do the cookie at all? अच्छा, एक राइट हैंड साइड पे पढ़िएगा. थोड़ी देर के लिए आपको 2 मिनट के लिए काम दे रहा हूं. थोड़ा हम बात करना भी बंद कर देंगे इस बहाने. एट द एंड, प्लीज एट द एंड, एक काम दिया है आपको. प्लीज ट्राई एंड रीड दिस. जब आप कोई सा भी ब्राउजर इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो, सिस्टम यूज कर रहे हो, तो इन फैक्टर्स का इस्तेमाल करते हो. आपकी स्क्रीन साइज क्या है, आपका कलर डेप्थ क्या है, रेजोल्यूशन क्या है, which phones you have installed, a time zone and the clock, image, extension settings changed, device model and the battery state, stacks processing signature. Now these parameters are important. And you see on the left hand side, your browser cheerfully answers the question it was never asked to keep quiet about. What the screen you have, your browser is telling all of this. The screen will have which phones are installed, graphics chip, any single answer is shared by billions of people. All of them together are usually unique or close enough. Nothing is stored on your device. Private was not removed. So these are the things that are shared all by itself. So this can be very dangerous when they do not need the cookie, are getting the information through this. Now, send banner in seconds. Whenever you getting that, accept करें, ना करें, कुछ deselect कर दें. So you get that message. Accept all, reject all, manage the preferences, legitimate interest, and we can set the setting for the cookies. Then comes metadata. Metadata, we talked about a letter today. एक खत है, उस खत के अंदर ऊपर एनवलप है, the letter what was actually said, written, protected by the strongest laws in this country, end to end encrypted in messaging applications, expensive and slow to realize at scale. And the envelope says to where, for how long, and how often. Rarely encrypted because the network is very easy to graph, weakly protected almost everywhere. So we kill people based on the metadata. Have you studied about DBMS? DBMS. Metadata पढ़ा होगा तुमने, data about data. You store Ram, Shyam, and the locality. But if you give the field names, name, roll number, enrollment number, address, so they are talking about the metadata, data about data. So similarly, whenever you're talking about metadata, here it is data about the data that you are using. So फोटो दैट यू क्लिक इन, बहुत आसानी से जो फोटो हम डालते हैं, हजारों फोटो हम डाल देते हैं, ठीक है। तो अब ये देखो, जब एक फोटो डालोगे आप, तो कितना सारा डेटा आप सामने वाले को दे रहे हो, जो आपके अगेंस्ट यूज हो सकता है आगे चल के। देखिए राइट हैंड साइड पे, इफ यू कैन जस्ट रीड दैट, आपके उस फोटो का, इफ दे कैन रीड दैट, जीपीएस लैटिट्यूड एंड लॉन्जिट्यूड, टाइम, अच्छा कितने लोग के पास आईफोन है? वो फिक्स अच्छी आती हैं, बहुत खूबसूरत पिक्स आती हैं, सबसे डिफरेंट होती हैं। तो देखो आप थर्ड पॉइंट, डिवाइस मेक मॉडल ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम यूज। So whenever you are building any of the pic, the entire information is going into it. किस मोबाइल से लिया गया है, कौन सा iOS है, lens that you are using, the aperture, and whether the flash fired or not. Sometimes an owner copyright field, which software edited it, occasionally नहीं लगा हुआ है. So all that information is going, and that information is coming just when we are loading just one pic. So what a call gives away to his owner. हम कैसे कॉल मिला रहे हैं, दिन में आप सब 20, 25, 30 कॉल तो मिला लेते होंगे। वैसे तो हम सब व्हाट्सएप पे बात करते हैं आप, लेकिन 20, 25 कॉल्स तो हम कर लेते हैं। तो जब आप कोई कॉल करते हो तो वो कॉल भी बहुत सारा ट्रेल छोड़ जाता है, जैसे कुकीज छोड़ जाएगा, आपका मेटा डेटा छोड़ता है, हमारा कॉल्स भी आपके डेटा के बारे में डेटा छोड़ रहा है। सो एग्जांपल ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, a call to a cardiology clinic, then 3 members and then a hospital. तो इस सब का क्या वो इंटरप्रिटेशन निकलता है? Someone has a heart attack. Why would you contact someone? Why would you call a cardiology clinic? Relatives. So, अच्छा सर कितना टाइम है? So we'll quickly do it. Then 40 minutes most nights at 1 a.m. which is not in the context. A relationship nobody has announced. ये हम सब करते हैं, मतलब हम लोग नहीं करते, यंगस्टर्स सब कर रहे हैं। वो रिलेशनशिप जो आपके पेरेंट्स को भी नहीं पता होती। So you are making a call 40 minutes first night at 1 which is not in the context. Interpretation दे रहा है, a relationship nobody has announced. Then a phone at the same address from 10 p.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days. You live in this place. आप यहाँ रहते हो. A marriage ending. The competitor is and you're leaving. So even if we are not defining that, but our actions on the internet, they are doing that. Second one is the most important. My son is on the call for almost every night, and whenever करे कोई वो है, तो कब बेटा अंदर से कॉल कर लो. So the thing is, it's all happening here. Then the mosaic, see, combined they are. And then if you you check, step count that you on the mobile. आज 5,000 5 kilometers chala. So we are keeping that and we are storing that data. So combined, they are your name and address, high confidence, everyone home address, seniority, salary, religion, community, guest, never asked whether you can charge more than the person next to you. It's all happening. So ये सब कुछ हो रहा है because we are using and that data is being stored and on. So what do you think? You agree? A camera, when you things, you have the location, you are using location, you are using notifications. So the first one, if you read it, read the camera whenever it is on. Location can be dangerous. Your camera settings can sometimes be dangerous. Contacts can be, so they can all be manipulated and the data can be sold. So Maps app wants location. आपने मैप लगाया, suppose you have to go setting of maps, वो लोकेशन in कोई ऐसी एप्लीकेशन जो लोकेशन की जरूरत ना हो, you are giving the location, that would be dangerous. So a camera app wants the camera, a calling app wants your contacts, permission is the feature. You do not need to, a torch app wants your contact, the torch app, for using a torch. The torch app would want a contact, your contacts. A wallpaper wants the location, a stupid thing. Calculator wanting a microphone. The calculator with the microphone. Nothing in the feature needs it. So when a permission has no relationship to the feature is not, this is delivery mechanism, data. You are being asked for data and that can be manipulated. So as a programmer, you would see that you are using LTK software development. Attribution, login, payment, SDKs. So how a face becomes searchable, detecting software finds the part of the squares it up, it measures relationship between features, distance, angles, contours, texture, encode these measurement numbers of face print or a template. This again, millions of this is enough as a match. So face sometimes so critical. Say there was a and in that you were using meta glasses, they were using GPS software, was there. So that can be very dangerous. So your face can become searchable. Anyone can detect your face. It's face. You see, everyone is going to the airport. Some flights pe ja rahe ho. You get into the airport for the checks. Then the phone unlock the venues that you're going to. You're going to the concert or going to a venue. You're going to saying examinations. We are all using remote. Then social. They're all making use of our faces. So our faces are important. Everything is going to our faces. Faces are going to the database. And they're being used everywhere, as we can see. So this is a password which can never change. A leaked password takes a minute to replace. गूगल से कोई टैंपर करना चाह रहा है, जल्दी से पासवर्ड बदल देते हैं. लेकिन फेस, जब आप फेस को पासवर्ड बनाते हो, यू कैन नॉट चेंज सो इजीली. So a lead face print is a permanent one. It is the same face at your hand, your hair, so it is dangerous. This is a very distance and a crowd and from a camera. The side way, the faces were recognized. This is being served. So it joins your two lives, your browsing industry and your physical book. This is the key that merges them. So face can be dangerous here. Your location can be very dangerous. अच्छा कितने लोग देखते हो? How many of you see? तो देखता हूँ जितने क्राइम्स होते हैं वो लोकेशन लेते कहीं ना कहीं लोकेशन अगर बंद कर दें तो हम कहीं नहीं जाएंगे. तो अभी ये हुआ था जिसको उसने धक्का दे दिया था ऊपर से वो बंदा मोबाइल शॉप में छोड़ गया था. So location is very important and you see GPS, satellite, see Wi-Fi, cell cameras, beacons, small buildings, IP addresses, it can only trace you. So turning off GPS, one off. So yes, that's what we call. So these things are important that we should keep in mind. So from your pocket to a buyer, your phone, then there is to one speed. Sometimes that payment is applications and business model, the broker and the buyers. These buyers are important. They are advertisers, the retailers, they are insurers, they are the hedge investigators, agencies. अच्छा ये बताएं सबके पास कॉल्स आते होंगे इंश्योरेंस के लिए उनके पास कैसे जाता होगा तो somewhere down the line your data has been so from brokers the data is being passed to the buyers. तो जो टॉपिक आज का टॉपिक इज कि ये सारी चीजें जो कुकीज हैं हमारी मेटा डेटा है फेस है हमारी लोकेशंस हैं they can all be very critical, they can all be very crucial. So we should as technical students आप लोग को पता है लेकिन आप लोग को एजुकेट करना है सोसाइटी को आप लोगों को एजुकेट करना है अपने पेरेंट्स को. सो इट्स ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल प्लीज सिट विद योर पेरेंट्स फॉर अ डिनर पे सब साथ डिनर करें एक बार ठीक है तो दिन में एक बार हम सब साथ बैठेंगे हम सब लोग इन चीजों को डिस्कस करेंगे कि ऐसी चीजें हो रही हैं क्योंकि हमें तो पता है वी आर लुकिंग और वी आर इवन फेसिंग देम. तो हमारे जो ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स हैं और हैं वो बच्चे रहे इस चीज से दे कैन सेफ इनफ यू विल हैव टू टेक द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी. सो समवेयर डाउन द लाइन ये सारी चीजें आप अपनी फैमिली डिस्कस करें उनको बताएं कि आजकल डिजिटल अरेस्ट चल रहा है. डिजिटल अरेस्ट में क्या हो रहा है वो यही डिटेल्स आपकी उठाता है आपके वॉइस को क्लोन करके कहता है कि भाई आपका बच्चा प्रॉब्लम में है और आप इतने पैसे ट्रांसफर कर दें या तो वो बोले आपने कोई क्राइम किया है आपको समथिंग इज हैपनिंग एंड यू हैव टू ट्रांसफर द मनी. और ऐसा नहीं है आईआईटी वाले बंदे और बहुत प्रोफेशनल्स स्मार्ट बंदे भी फॉलोइंग इन द ट्रैप they're falling in the trap digital arrest कई दिन they are arrested. So there is nothing like that और ये गवर्नमेंट बहुत इसके इनिशिएटिव्स ले रही है. So responsibility the society. This is why these topics are being used. They are being ऐसा है कि you know about cookies, you know about metadata. You can आप अपने टीचर से बात कर सकते हो आईटी टीचर से आप उनके they are giving a lot of money for real applications being developed. So, I see my students, they are almost doing the impossible. So the time is right for us. We will have to subjects pass kar jate hain. Everyone will pass with 78%. If you develop something that the society is going to be in depth to, they will really, and everyone will appreciate your role. Thank you everyone. Any question, bachcho? Time was short. बहुत सारी to rush through. But I think it's always good to be associated. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to express my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished resource person, Professor Ehtaram Raza Khan, sir, for taking time out of his busy schedule to share his knowledge, expertise, and valuable insights with us. This session, sir, has surely helped our students understand concepts of digital footprints, both leading to ethical and unethical know-hows. For the session, we are deeply grateful to our chairman, sir, Professor Sajan M. George, our director, sir, Professor Vikas Rawadi, our CFO, Father Biju, Vice Principal, ma'am, Professor Shalu Tandon, for their constant support, guidance, and encouragement in organizing such meaningful initiatives for our students. Our head of the departments, program coordinators, and faculty members for their support and coordination. Special word of appreciation goes out to Dr. Shruti Chopra and her technical team for pulling off an event of this strata. Last but not the least, you, my dear students, for your active engagement and patient listening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Our next resource person will be joining us soon. You all are please requested to be seated in the auditorium only. Can all the students and all our signatories please come on the stage for a group photograph? Okay, so for now, only the signatories and all the faculty members also, all the faculty members who are present in the auditorium. Ah, yes. All the faculty members, please come on the stage. Sakshi ma'am, Feba ma'am. All the students, please be seated. Our next resource person will be joining us in next 5 minutes.
बाद में चले जाऊंगी प्रोफाइल पढ़ने के बाद पहले
अच्छा ठीक है हाँ ओके हाँ मैं बोल देती हूँ ओके all the students please be seated all of you please settle down our resource person will be here any moment now इसको रख दूं नीचे
used all of you please settle down all the students please settle down at the back students please maintain the decorum all of you are requested to please settle down Session 4 is on surveillance and freedom, a social science perspective. To deliberate on this topic, we have among us Dr. Ravi Kedhar, Director, Ashok Sahani Foundation. May I now request Professor Chalu Nandan ma'am to felicitate Dr. Ravi Kedhar sir with a memento. So please join us on stage. Can we have a huge round of applause, please? May I now request Dr. Azad Usmani, HOD Management, to felicitate Dr. Ravi Kedhar sir with a planter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ravi Kedhar, an educator, author, and thinker whose work spans literature, management, and the philosophy of conscious living. Dr. Dhar currently serves as director of the Ashok Sahani Foundation, carrying forward a lifelong dedication to education and social impact. He has served as director of JIMS Vasant Kuch. He is also the founder editor of Mass Communicator, an international journal of communication studies, and has published widely on subjects ranging from the modern English novel to communication policy and child rights. Dr. Dhar is a prolific author whose body of work reflects a truly wide-ranging mind. His critical study, Evelyn Waugh Revisited, offers a compelling reappraisal of one of the 20th century's most debated novelists. He has also edited volumes exploring Indian management thought and thought leadership. And beyond his scholarly work, he's a creative writer at heart, the author of a novel, Orphans of the Storm, a poetry collection titled The Chant of Bethesda, and a book of mystical reflections, 101 Thoughts to Light Up Your Path. Dr. Dhar is also a passionate voice for what he calls conscious leadership, exploring the meeting point of ancient wisdom and modern life through his YouTube platform, The Mystic Mariner. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Ravi Kedhar. We request you, sir, to please address the gathering.
Online? Hello? Yeah. First of all, a very good afternoon to each one of you. Okay, tell me, from which departments are you? How many from management? IT? How many of you are technology students? In all, okay, let me put it. Technology students and non-technology? Which subjects? Commerce, okay. Which other? That's it. So commerce and IT. Okay, not a bad choice. Very good. You see, each one of you is intelligent enough. I prepared this presentation keeping in mind people who are older in age. But having said that, I feel probably it is good that it is youngsters who are listening to me. Why? Because youngsters have a flexibility of mind, which we as adults tend to lose. We become rigid in our opinions, in our thought processes, whereas youngsters have that raw flexibility. And I think that is a boon for me. Why? Because what I'm going to propose to you is something which most people may not easily accept. Just now, the person who introduced me told you about me, but one thing goes unnoticed, and that is I'm a non-conformist at heart. A non-conformist, a rebel at heart, but a conformist in my outer forms of living. Because I do not believe in upsetting people. But at the same time, within my own individuality, I do not accept conventional answers. So let us roll over to this. I'm going to talk to you about surveillance and freedom. Both concepts are looked at as if they are opposite to each other. One is at one end, another is at another. How do we do surveillance? Surveillance, what is the meaning of surveillance? Can somebody tell me what is surveillance? Anyone from IT? Yeah, because that's what we do most of the time when we are designing websites and getting traffic to our sites. What is surveillance? Yeah, tell me. Don't feel scared. Surveillance is, yes, yeah, keeping an eye on someone, getting to know about others without their knowledge. Without their knowledge, this is simple meaning. All right? And freedom, how does it affect freedom? It affects freedom because if I know somebody is watching me, if you know that somebody is all the time watching you, then you will behave in a way that you know that that person expects from you. So you will not behave in your original way. So you will conceal, you will hide. Like many times it so happens in college, a student fights or commits an act of indiscipline, we call the parent and we say to the parent कि भाई मैं भी गया हूँ as a parent, ऐसी बात नहीं है, मैं आपको ही सिर्फ नहीं कह रहा. I'm telling you as a parent also my own experience when I was called by the school teacher that your son sir पढ़ाई तो बाद में करेगा, पहले behavior तो ठीक कर ले. So I was the school teacher, the class teacher, what she said to me. And I was a professor. Just imagine a professor being told this, that your son is not behaving the right way. So, as a parent, what do I think? कि मेरा बेटा तो गऊ है, ये तो कुछ जानता ही नहीं है, वो शरीफ है जी, कुछ नहीं करता है. मगर ये तो कॉलेज के प्रोफेसर को पता है वो कितना बदमाशी क्लास में करता है, क्योंकि वहां उसको पता है पापा नहीं देख रहे. So, this is your freedom. So, surveillance and freedom are interconnected. Having said that, सबटाइटल थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है, इसको छोड़ देते हैं, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो आपको उतना समझ नहीं आएगा. लेट्स रोल ओवर टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Now, this is the most important question. Can somebody read what the question is? What is the question? Why does surveillance continue to expand even in democratic societies committed to freedom? हम सर्वेलांस की जब बात करते हैं तो हमें दिमाग में क्या आता है? कम्युनिस्ट चाइना, थियोक्रेटिक स्टेट्स, कि वहां पे लोगों को कंट्रोल में रखने के लिए सर्वेलांस किया जाता होगा. बट व्हाट ऑफ इंडिया? What of America? What of Britain? सबसे ज्यादा सर्वेलांस अगर कहीं होती है तो अमेरिका में होती है. I have been a reviewer for Electronic Privacy International Center, New York, since 2001. When I presented a paper on right to privacy in the Internet Society's Congress in Sweden, Stockholm. It was and what I presented there, when I was going through that presentation, preparing that presentation, I was astounded by the extent of surveillance that America carries out. And recently you heard of certain people who were arrested. Edward Snowden, have you heard of him? Snowden का नाम सुना है? Who collected the data that American government collects on people throughout the world. The WhatsApp that you use, the Signal that you use, all the social media sites you use, वहां पे जो भी कुछ ट्रैफिक चल रहा है, उस ट्रैफिक के ऊपर वो डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं. Why? Because they want to categorize and find out. And it is not reason given is, that is the obvious reason. Reason क्या दिया जाता है? टेररिज्म रोकने के लिए, सिक्योरिटी ऑफ द स्टेट के लिए, सिक्योरिटी ऑफ द सिटीजन के लिए. मगर क्या वो सिर्फ उसी के लिए होता है? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता. नहीं तो होमी भाभा का एयर क्रैश नहीं होता. हमारे यहाँ पे जो नाम भी वो एक साइंटिस्ट हुए इसरो के, उनके अगेंस्ट झूठा केस ट्रम्प अप करके नहीं अंदर जेल में डाल दिया होता व्हेन ही वाज वर्किंग ऑन क्रायो इंजन टेक्नोलॉजी. तो ये सब क्यों होता है? क्योंकि स्टेट्स वांट टू डोमिनेट. USA does not want to lose its dominating position. So it is not just autocratic states, not just theocratic states जो सर्वेलांस करती हैं. तो सर्वेलांस कौन करता है? डेमोक्रेटिक सोसाइटीज. हम क्यों कहते हैं कि डेमोक्रेटिक सोसाइटीज को क्यों सिंगल आउट कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि हम ये सोचते हैं कि जो डेमोक्रेटिक सोसाइटीज होती हैं वो तो, जैसे वो अब्राहम लिंकन ने एक डेफिनेशन दी थी डेमोक्रेसी की. What was that definition? That's a very famous definition that was given by him in the Gettysburg Address. What was that definition? Democracy is a government of the people, for the people, by the people. And G.B. Shaw ने उसका मजाक उड़ाया, कहा such a democracy is non-existent. ये हो ही नहीं सकता. Of the people, for the people, by the people. अगर people, it will be chaos. How can it be there? But the point I'm trying to make is कि डेमोक्रेसीज को हम इतना हाईलाइट क्यों करते हैं कि डेमोक्रेसी में विल किसकी चलती है? लोगों की. Who are the sovereign authority? Sovereign authority कौन है? आपको मजा नहीं आ रहा इसमें? आपको थोड़ा सा समझ लो, आपके काम की चीज है. बाद में आपको, मुझे पता है आपने सोचना बंद कर दिया है. हाँ, मुझे पता है, क्योंकि आपको पहले ही ऑटोमेटॉन बना दिया गया है. यू हैव बीन रोबोटाइज्ड. एंड हु रोबोटाइज्ड यू? दैट ऑल्सो आई विल टेल यू. आई एम कमिंग टू दैट पार्ट जस्ट नाउ. हाउ रोबोटाइजेशन हैपेंस of human beings, as a result of which you lose your freedom. The freedom to choose, the freedom to be. Now, so there are two ends. One is freedom, another is security, and surveillance keeps expanding despite that. Roll over. Zyada nahi karenge. Now, these are the explanations that we give. कि ये सर्वेलेंस आता क्यों है, हर जगह क्यों रेकर करता है. सर्वेलेंस वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इनिशियली इन द 18th सेंचुरी, जहां पे प्रिजनर्स के लिए, प्रिजनर्स के बीच, वहां प्रिजन में सेंटर में एक वॉच टावर रखा जाता था, और इर्द गिर्द, जैसे वो आपने सेल्वर जेल देखी होगी अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड्स की, वो हमेशा गोल होती थी, और बीच में ऑब्जर्वेशन टावर होता था, ताकि प्रिजनर को ये लगे कि मैं हमेशा वॉच किया जा रहा हूं, जो आपको बताया जाता है। अगर हमेशा वॉच किया जा रहा है तो आप कैसा बिहेव करोगे, जैसा कि आपसे उम्मीद की जाती है। तो ये एक पहले बिगिनिंग का है। वही चीज फिर अब हम आप पे आते हैं। जो प्रिजनर्स पे किया गया वही एजुकेशन में किया गया। आज आप कुछ भी सुनने के लिए क्यों नहीं तैयार, समझने के लिए क्यों नहीं तैयार? क्योंकि आपको लगता है कि ये आपको इंफॉर्मेशन दी जा रही है, और इस इंफॉर्मेशन का पर्पस क्या है कि आपको कंट्रोल करना है। क्या करना है? कंट्रोल करना है, और आपके बिहेवियर को मोल्ड करना है। स्कूल जब आप पहली बार गए तो क्या आप इस तरह के ड्रेस में पहन के गए? नहीं गए। आपको सभी को एक यूनिफॉर्म दे दी गई, और आपका नाम आपको फिर नाम से नहीं पुकारा गया। रोल नंबर 1, रोल नंबर 2, रोल नंबर 3, ये कैदी नंबर 1, कैदी नंबर 2, कैदी नंबर 3, कैदी नंबर 4, नंबर मिल गए अब आपको। यूनिवर्सिटी भी आपको यही करती है ना। एनरोलमेंट नंबर बेटा क्या है? आप यूनिवर्सिटी जाते हो, कोई दिक्कत है? एनरोलमेंट नंबर नहीं पता तो वापस जाओ, मैं कहां खोजूंगा इतने। तो आप एक नंबर बन गए। क्या बन गए? नंबर बन गए। यही एजुकेशनल सिस्टम ने भी यही किया। एजुकेशनल सिस्टम ने आपकी इंडिविजुअलिटी को खत्म किया, और आपको नंबर देके फिर उन्होंने आपको ऐसा एजुकेशन सिखाया गया कि आप वैसे बनो जैसे कि समाज चाहता है। समाज की जो अपेक्षाएं आपसे हैं उसके अनुरूप। तो इसको कहते हैं सोसाइटीज ऑफ कंट्रोल। क्या कहते हैं? और उसमें हमने देखा कि कोई इधर उधर तो नहीं जा रहा। यही सिस्टम, इसका एक्सट्रीम केस क्या था जो हिटलर ने किया। हिटलर ने नाजी जर्मनी में सबका वेरिफिकेशन कर दिया, सबका नंबरिंग कर दिया। जैसे आपके सबके आधार नंबर लग गए हैं, सबका नंबर है। आधार नंबर क्या है, एसआईआर हो रहा है, ये सब चीजें जो हैं वैसे ही वहां पे कर दिया गया। तो दिस इज कॉल्ड, ये सर्वे डेटा इससे जनरेट होता है। अब मुझे नाम याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं, वहां कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है कि रोहित लाखों लोगों का नाम हो सकता है, मगर यूनिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर एक ही है, और उसमें आपका बायोमेट्रिक भी है, आपका आई स्कैन भी है, और फिंगरप्रिंट भी है। आप बच के नहीं निकल सकते। तो आपका बिहेवियर विल बी अंडर, और उसके बाद आप सब माइग्रेट किस पे कर गए? फाइनेंशियल प्लेटफॉर्म में। कहां माइग्रेट कर गए हो? यूपीआई। मींस आपका फाइनेंशियल बिहेवियर, आपका सोशल बिहेवियर ऑन सोशल मीडिया साइट्स सारा ट्रैक हो रहा है, सारा ट्रैक हो रहा है। ये डिजिटल सोसाइटीज की प्रॉब्लम है जो अगले बंदे ने डलूस ने दिया। इस तरह से ये, और फाइनली आजकल हम बात कर रहे हैं डिसीजन इंटेलिजेंस सिस्टम्स। दोज ऑफ यू हु आर फ्रॉम आईटी, फॉर मी एज एन आईटी इंजीनियर, data is the information on which, when I run my algorithms, I can devise a decision intelligence system which can make decisions irrespective of the man. Means I can replace a doctor, I can replace a judge. Why? Because human beings do not take wise and rational decisions. they are subject to being compromised. So this is the kind of surveillance अलग-अलग form में आती जा रही. Let's roll over to the next slide. इसको भी छोड़ दो, इतना समझ नहीं आएगा इनको. अब सवाल उठता है कि हर जगह क्यों होती है सर्वेलेंस? आमतौर से जो हमारे लोग हैं, हम इमीडिएटली यहां से मोरालिटी में चले जाते हैं. किस में चले जाते हैं? मोरालिटी में, कि हमें ऐसा होना चाहिए, वैसा होना चाहिए. These are called normative solutions. What are these called? Normative solutions. As students of IT, you need to understand the architecture. Tomorrow, if you have to design a software for this, unless you know the various steps through which energy form, let me not come to that word first, through which a decision gets implemented or a process happens, you cannot create a foolproof system, software solution. I'm coming to that only. You can create a software solution for this, and it will be unique, the first of its kind in the world. Because what I'm going to give you, I don't talk from books, I create books. So whatever you are going to hear from now on will not be information. It will be my intuition. My intuition, and this is based on 40 years of research. So be attentive. ऐसा ना हो रामायण खत्म हो जाए फिर आप पूछो राम कौन थी और सीता कौन था. समझे? कॉमर्स वालों को ज्यादा ध्यान देने की जरूरत है, आईटी वाले तो दे देंगे. आईटी वाले क्योंकि आर्किटेक्चर में जाते हैं. And I'm coming to this, to the architecture after this. I'll be introducing an architecture for you. So, अभी तक जो मैंने बताया कि सर्वेलांस कैसे होती है, इसको मॉर्फोलॉजी कहते हैं. क्या कहते हैं? मॉर्फोलॉजी. जहां पे आप डिस्क्रिप्शन देते हैं, डिस्क्रिप्टर्स की बात करते हैं कि कैसे होता है, कौन करता है, क्या होता है. तो व्हाई आप टच ही नहीं करते. बट आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन मॉर्फोलॉजी बिकॉज ये फ्रैगमेंटेड है. क्या है? फ्रैगमेंटेड. ये बताती है स्कूल्स में कैसे सर्वेलांस होती है, प्रिजन्स में कैसे होती है, वेबसाइट पे कैसे होती है. ये सारा फ्रैगमेंटेड है. आई वांट टू नो समथिंग व्हिच इज इंटीग्रेटेड, एंड आई आल्सो वांट टू नो व्हाई इट हैपेंस. करता ही क्यों है इंसान सर्वेलांस? व्हाई डू गवर्नमेंट्स गो फॉर सर्वेलांस? Why do business organizations go for surveillance? होती क्यों है? So for that I have to go into what I call morphogenesis. What is it called? Morphogenesis. So we'll do a morphogenetic analysis, and it will be based on दो तरीके की सोचें होती हैं, थिंकिंग होती है, जो सोशल साइंटिस्ट हमें बताते हैं. सो वी विल मूव अवे फ्रॉम सोशल साइंस पर्सपेक्टिव, वी विल वेंचर इनटू द डोमेन ऑफ साइंस. अब हम किस डोमेन में जाएंगे? साइंस के डोमेन में जाएंगे, कि टेक की टोपोलॉजी के डोमेन में जाएंगे, कि हाउ डज द टोपोलॉजी वर्क. गॉट इट? इंटरेस्टिंग और नॉट? टेल मी. Because it will not be words now. It will be steps, stages, structures, and processes. That is how syntax is created, isn't it? So we will go into, and thinking कौन सा हम लेंगे, हमारा रूल क्या होगा. दो रूल्स होते हैं हम थिंकिंग में जो यूज करते हैं सोशल साइंसेस में. दो नहीं होते, एक ही होता है अभी तक. उसको कहते हैं फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल्स थिंकिंग. क्या कहते हैं उसको? सोशल साइंसेस में आप कहीं भी जाओगे वहां पे सिर्फ फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल्स थिंकिंग की बात की गई है. बट आई डू नॉट बिलीव इन फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल्स थिंकिंग. आई गिव टू यू अनदर फॉर्म ऑफ थिंकिंग which is called foundational and generative principles thinking. Foundational and generative principles thinking. Why generative? जो जनरेट करे, मैनिफेस्ट करे कि किस तरह से अगर मैंने कोड लिखा है उस कोड से कैसे जनरेट होगा सब कुछ. तो फाउंडेशनल मींस जहां बिगिन करती है चीज, वहीं से क्या प्रॉब्लम होती है, सीड क्या है उसका, वहां से कैसे ये पनपता है और ये ऐसा फॉर्म क्यों होता है कि हम सर्वेलेंस का सहारा लेते हैं. नेक्स्ट, रोल ओवर टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ये मैंने दिया है बेस्ड ऑन माय फिलॉसफी ऑफ कॉन्शियस एनर्जेटिक्स. कॉन्शियस एनर्जेटिक्स के दो सिद्धांत हैं, मूल सिद्धांत, कि एनर्जी इज प्राइमरी. एवरीथिंग इन दिस वर्ल्ड इज अ मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ एनर्जी. यू एग्री? साइंटिफिकली आइंस्टाइन ने एक इक्वेशन दी थी. व्हाट वाज दैट? E is equal to mc स्क्वायर. मगर वो जो एनर्जी जो उसने बताया, उसमें उसने कन्वर्टिबिलिटी बताया था मास और एनर्जी का. मगर जिस एनर्जी की मैं बात कर रहा हूं, दैट इज नॉट मटेरियल एनर्जी. आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ पोटेंसी. किसकी बात कर रहा हूं मैं? जिसको पोटेंशियल एनर्जी कहते हैं. जो पोटेंसी है जिसमें संभावनाएं हैं. जो जीरो फील्ड एनर्जी जिसको कहते हैं क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स में, जीरो फील्ड एनर्जी वो फील्ड जो है जहां पे जीरोनेस आता है, शून्य आ जाता है, वहां से शुरू करेंगे हम कहानी. सो ये कॉन्शियस एनर्जेटिक्स कहती है कि जब ये कोहेरेंस में आता है ये एनर्जी फील्ड, तो उस समय कॉन्शियसनेस जन्म लेती है. क्या जन्म लेती है? कॉन्शियसनेस जन्म लेती है. और कॉन्शियसनेस इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम इंफॉर्मेशन एंड नॉलेज. कॉन्शियसनेस इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम नॉलेज एंड इंफॉर्मेशन. कॉन्शियसनेस इज बीइंग. मैं क्या हूं उसका बोध होना, उसका भाव होना, फील करना. यस, आई एम ह्यूमन. I am not matter. I am human. This is consciousness. But when I say it, this consciousness has turned into information. What has it turned into? Information. This is knowledge. This is knowledge. इसीलिए गुरु नानक देव जी कहते हैं, anyone who is a Sikh here? Anyone who is a Sikh here? No one. गुरु नानक देव जी कहते हैं, इसीलिए कहिए सुनिए रखिए भाव. कहिए सुनिए. कहिए मीन्स इंफॉर्मेशन बोल रहे हो, सुन रहे हो इंफॉर्मेशन, मगर अगर उसमें भाव नहीं तो निरर्थक. एंड इट इज ओनली नॉलेज. इट इज किताबें, किताबी ज्ञान जो आप बांटते हो. All educational institutions give only किताबी ज्ञान, और वो किसी काम का नहीं. तो अगर आपको उधर से मूव करना है तो किस तरफ मूव करना है? कॉन्शियसनेस में. और कॉन्शियसनेस कब जनरेट होती है? जब एनर्जी में कोहेरेंस आती है. क्या आती है? कोहेरेंस. दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. एंड द सेम रूल वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई टू सोसाइटी. किसको अप्लाई करेंगे? सोसाइटी को. कि सोसाइटी में सर्वेलेंस कहां से आ जाती, क्यों आती है? तो इसको समझेंगे फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ कॉन्शियस एनर्जेटिक्स का. दिस इज कॉल्ड अ मेटा थ्योरेटिकल फ्रेमवर्क. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. इसको भी छोड़ दीजिए, आगे चलिए, आगे चलिए. इनको भी ये समझ. ये देखो, दिस इज द फ्रेमवर्क. Those of you, I don't know how many of you have seen the topology of information generated by TPEC. Algorithmic topology of information when it is subjected, जब आप algorithms run करते हो information पे, you will get something like this. In the middle, this is the Mandelic topology. What is this? नीचे लिखा है Mandelic topology of conscious energy. ये आपको किसी बुक में, दुनिया की बुक में नहीं मिलेगा. This is created by me. But it is also not totally my originality. It is based on my experiences, but I have presented it. ये हमारे ऋषियों मुनियों ने भी इसको एक्सप्लोर किया था, उसको ढूंढा था, मगर उन्होंने इसको अपने तरीके से प्रेजेंट किया, उस समय की भाषा में किया. मैं इसको साइंटिफिकली प्रेजेंट कर रहा हूं. थोड़ा सा फर्क भी है. फ्रॉम ऑल रिलीजियस ट्रेडिशंस होगा भी, क्योंकि जब भी कोई चीज नए तरीके से समझी जाती है तो नया आता है. सेंटर में क्या है? Can somebody read it? Can you read it? What is there in the center? There is a bright yellow golden center. उसमें whitishness है. You can take a photograph. I have no objection. Do all plagiarism that you want, because wisdom is free. इससे अच्छा क्या हो सकता है अगर आप अच्छी चीज का प्लेजरिज्म करो. सेंटर में मध्य में क्या है? बिंदु है. क्या है? बिंदु मीन्स डॉट, पॉइंट. इसी को आप सूर्य वंदना कहते हैं. जो आप करते हो ना, मूर्खों की तरह चलते हो. सॉरी फॉर सेइंग इट, मगर आप मूर्ख तब बन जाते हो जब समझते नहीं हो. कोई भी चीज, जैसे वो कहे ना, माला कहे है काठ की, तू क्यों फेरे मोए, मन का फेर दे, तुरंत मिला दूं. तो बिना समझे कोई भी काम करोगे तो मूर्ख बनोगे. सेंटर में क्या है? दैट इज द पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का फील्ड है, एंड इट इज नॉन लोकल. पहले क्या है? बीइंग है. क्या है? बीइंग. इसके इनफाइनाइट है, इटर्नल है, इसके कोई कोऑर्डिनेट्स नहीं है. दैट इज एनर्जी फील्ड. That is the energy field, infinity. But when infinity moves, now try to understand, particularly the science students. मुझे पता कॉमर्स वालों को थोड़ी दिक्कत आएगी, क्योंकि वो डेबिट क्रेडिट में ही फंसे हुए हैं, ट्रायल बैलेंस और बैलेंस शीट में ही फंसे हुए हैं. मगर वो भी समझ लेंगे अगर कोशिश करेंगे. उसका कोई भी फिक्स्ड पॉइंट नहीं होता, क्योंकि वो स्पेस में एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता. स्पेस और टाइम उसी से जन्म लेते हैं. तो बिंदु जो है वो फर्स्ट एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ बीइंग है. दैट इज नॉन लोकल से वो लोकल बन जाता है. क्या बन जाता है? नॉन लोकल रियलिटी क्या बन जाती है? लोकल रियलिटी. ये बिंदु जो है, ये आपके, जब आप डीप टेक में जाते हो, इंफॉर्मेशन देखते हो, तो आप देखोगे देयर विल बी मेनी सेंटर्स. उसके इर्द गिर्द यू विल फाइंड नेटवर्क्स. इंफॉर्मेशन की टोपोलॉजी जब वो देगा आपको, एल्गोरिथमिक टोपोलॉजी, दैट इज द सेंटर. और इसी से इसका जो एक्सपेंशन होता है, ये जो सेंटर है जीरो, ये जीरो भी है, वन भी है. जीरो भी है, वन भी है, क्योंकि पॉइंट की कोई डायमेंशन नहीं है. ये है भी और नहीं भी, मगर इसी से जब एक्सपेंशन होता है तो मैनिफेस्टेशन होती है. सो रियलिटी इज मंडलिक. रियलिटी इज मंडलिक. आपको जो साइंस ने समझाया इन द बिगिनिंग वाज रियलिटी इज लीनियर. रियलिटी इज लीनियर. जब आप कॉजालिटी करते हो, उसमें पहला कॉज लीड्स टू द सेकंड इफेक्ट, the effect becomes the cause of another effect, that effect becomes, तो कड़ी बनती है, चेन बनती है. और चेन में जो आखिरी कड़ी होती है उसका कोई कनेक्शन नहीं बिगिनिंग वाले पॉइंट से, मगर ऐसा यहां पे नहीं होता. दिस इज द मंडलिक एक्सपेंशन. So being expands into becoming. इसको becoming कहते हैं, और हमारे वेदों ने इसी को कहा क्षर और अक्षर. तो ये जो है ये समझने के लिए, but it is a little tougher. We'll move to the next stage. This was just to tell you. Next, roll over, please. ये है, यहां पे आपको समझ आएगा, क्योंकि this is the way you have been taught to understand. यही प्रॉब्लम है ना, ये आपका जो सिस्टम जो है आपको कंट्रोल कर लिया गया है. आपका दिमाग भी वैसे नहीं चल सकता. आपको ये समझ आएगा वो मंडलिक आर्किटेक्चर, क्योंकि आपके ब्रेन के जो ग्रूव्स हैं वो ऐसे कर दिए गए हैं. सो बीइंग पॉइंट leads to what is called rhythm, is the law of being, law of becoming, which is aligned with being. That is, order kahan se generate hota hai? Order is generated from the 0 point. Order is generated from the 0 point energy field. Then next stage is yagna. Yagna is nothing, it's a word which I have taken from conventional religion. यज्ञ इज नथिंग बट व्हेन, क्योंकि जब ये मैनिफेस्टेशन होती है, दैट 0 पॉइंट व्हेन इट एक्सपेंड्स, आई शोड यू द concentric rings. What happens is differentiation. What happens is differentiation. The one becomes the many. When the one becomes the many justify their existence only when it surrenders to the one. So it is a kind of submission, a surrender, submission. What in religious terminology it is called surrender, sacrifice. So religious terminology is different. This is scientific terminology. Then come the ontological functions. Then the civilizational. आपको ये थोड़ा सा difficult because I didn't know that it is for students. तो नहीं तो otherwise I would have made it different. So let's move on. हाँ, सोसाइटी जो है, बेसिक आपको बता देता हूं. I'll not give you more ज्ञान because that will be difficult for you to digest. Society, as per conscious energetics, is made up of energy field, relational energy field. There are many coherent centers. There are many centers of energy in the society. And उनकी जो relationship है, if it is coherent, then the society will become full of trust, independence. There will be no need to judge or oversee. दूसरे की जासूसी करने की जरूरत, जहां ट्रस्ट है वहां पे चेक करने की जरूरत नहीं है. So what happens in coherence? First is differentiation. One becomes many. When it becomes many, then next thing is that each of these points have to participate in the center, have to participate in the coherent center. If they participate in the coherent center, what emerges is participation. Participation leads to reciprocity because it is like something like this. In the family, अगर आप आइडेंटिफाई करते हो अपने पेरेंट्स की प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ, you understand the perspective of the family. Then you will not be demanding from your father, नहीं मुझे आईफोन चाहिए ही चाहिए. पापा के पास तो सिंपल फोन है जो एनालॉग है, जिसमें स्मार्टफोन भी नहीं है, मगर आप जिद करते हो नहीं पापा मुझे तो चाहिए. मेरे फ्रेंड्स के पास है. Because you are not connected to the center of your family. That is the coherent center. Because it is the father who is keeping the family together. I think this is not a subject. So we'll stop. Roll over. एक मिनट roll over कर दो, इनको देखने दो. At least they get to know. So these are the civilizational qualities. क्वालिटीज, ये एनर्जी बेसिस के ऊपर होता है। डिफरेंशिएशन, पार्टिसिपेशन, रेसिप्रोसिटी, रिन्यूअल, इमरजेंस, ये ऑन्टोलॉजिकल फंक्शंस कहते हैं। मीनिंग रियलिटी कैसे ऑपरेट करती है जब कोहेरेंट एनर्जी फील्ड्स होते हैं। वो एनर्जी फील्ड्स किसको जन्म देते हैं? सिविलाइजेशनल क्वालिटीज को। और सिविलाइजेशनल क्वालिटीज डिफाइन करते हैं डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नेंस को। और जन्म किसको देते हैं? फ्रीडम को, सिटीजनशिप। आप ये नहीं कहते मैं हिंदू हूं तो मेजॉरिटी, वो मुस्लिम है तो माइनॉरिटी। देन यू थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ होलनेस, देन ट्रस्ट एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कम्स, कलेक्टिव इंटेलिजेंस ये इमर्ज करती है। नेक्स्ट, यहां से मतलब 3 लेवल्स हैं। पहले होती है ऑन्टोलॉजी, फिर होती है सिविलाइजेशनल क्वालिटीज या वैल्यूज, फिर उसके बाद आती है इंस्टीट्यूशंस। जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस क्या है? वो स्टेबलाइजेशन है एनर्जी फील्ड की, चाहे वो सोसाइटी है, डेमोक्रेसी है, ये सारी स्टेबलाइजेशन एनर्जी फील्ड के हैं। नेक्स्ट, वेयर डज सर्वेलेंस कम? सर्वेलेंस कम्स इन अडैप्टिव। जब कोहेरेंस सोसाइटी में खत्म होती है तो सर्वेलेंस आती है। जब आपस में ट्रस्ट नहीं होगा तभी सर्वेलेंस आएगा। नेक्स्ट, सो वेयर सर्वेलेंस बिलोंग्स टू द अडैप्टिव पेरिफेरी, नॉट टू द जनरेटिव सेंटर ऑफ गवर्नेंस। नेक्स्ट, टू फ्यूचर्स। जितनी फ्रैगमेंटेशन सोसाइटी में होगी उतनी सर्वेलेंस होगी, जितना कोहेरेंस होगा उतना फ्रीडम होगा। नेक्स्ट, इसको भी हट छोड़ दीजिए, इसको भी छोड़ दीजिए, नहीं समझ आएगा। दिस इज माई बुक on the basis of which this entire thesis, you will not get any book on this. This is the first of its kind in the world. And it gives a meta-theoretical framework जिसके अंदर सब सिचुएट हो जाता है। All religions get situated in it. Science gets situated in it. Sociology, politics, economics, finance, everything gets situated within it. It is a meta-theoretical framework, but for that it requires a little bit of ideational excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this interactive session. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Ravi Kedhar for sparing time from his busy schedule and deliberating on this topic and sharing his experiences with us. I would also like to thank our chairman, Reverend Professor Sajan M. George, our director, Sir Professor Vikas Rawadi, our vice principal, ma'am, Professor Shalu Tandon, ma'am, for their constant support, guidance for these type of programs. I would also like to thank all the HODs, program coordinators, and faculty members for their support and coordination. Special word of appreciation to Dr. Shruti Chopra and the technical team for pulling off this event on this level. And last but not the least, to all our students for being an active listener. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Session 5 is on human rights online when the internet becomes a space of harm. To deliberate on this topic, today we have among us Dr. Linto KB. Moving on, session 5 is on human rights online when the internet becomes a space of harm. To deliberate on this topic, today we have amongst us Dr. Linto KB, advocate on record Supreme Court. May I now request Dr. P.K. Nayak sir to please felicitate sir with the memento. Sir, please join us on stage. May I now request Father Biju, CF4 DBIT, to please felicitate sir with the planter. Thank you, Father. Thank you, sir. You may please take your seats. Dr. Linto KB is an advocate on record at the Supreme Court of India with extensive expertise in civil, criminal, constitutional, arbitrational, commercial, and service law. He has built a distinguished legal practice representing clients before the Supreme Court of India, the Delhi High Court, the various judicial and quasi-judicial forums across the country. An accomplished legal scholar, Dr. Linto holds a PhD in law, specializing in human rights protection, an LLM in commercial arbitration, an MPhil in financial management, and an MBA in human resource management. His multidisciplinary academic background enables him to combine sound legal scholarship with practical and strategic legal solutions. Over the years, Dr. Linto has acquired substantial experience in handling special leave petitions, civil and criminal appeals, arbitration matters, commercial disputes, service matters, and constitutional litigation. As an advocate on record, he leads a highly competent team of advocates and legal professionals, ensuring meticulous case preparation, effective litigation strategy, and seamless management of matters from inception through financial adjudication. Dr. Linto serves as the principal legal advisor to several leading educational, charitable, and religious institutions. His advisory practice encompasses regulatory compliance, including matters under the Foreign Contribution Regulation, institutional governance, statutory and regulatory audits, construction and infrastructure projects, property transactions, lease and facility agreements, disciplinary proceedings, employment and service issues, and the resolution of complex institutional disputes. A trained mediator accredited by the Supreme Court of India Mediation Center, Dr. Linto strongly advocates consensual dispute resolution alongside litigation. His mediation expertise complements his active Supreme Court practice, enabling him to deliver practical, efficient, and sustainable legal solution in matters of significant institutional and constitutional importance. We welcome you, sir, and we request you to please join us on stage. All the students are requested to please maintain the decorum of the hall.
Good evening. Honestly, I know I am the only thing that obstructs you from going home. 3:30 is 3:30 is your timing, and 4 o'clock, 4 to 5. I'm fully conscious about it. I shall not run you through a presentation with a lot of legal terms and complications. Okay. Sir, Principal Sir has left, so I'll tell you another thing. No choice for you and for me as well. And I'll come down there because I do not want to stand on a big stage, because I thought it's better to be here with you. Because I have a big presentation and I won't go to the presentation as so much as that. See, can I get those ones who are sitting at the back to the front here? So then I may not move much. A little bit. Push a little bit. Yeah, just move it to the front. Faster you do, faster we will go home. It's raining out, covered traffic is there. Faster you come, faster we go home. Yeah, I have few more chairs here. I have few more chairs. Let them come in front. Are we ready to go? This looks a full classroom. I was looking at the expression of the last speaker. Sir was really struggling. You were all talking. Sir was explaining. Honestly, I also did not understand much of the theories that Sir was trying to explain. But then he was making a lot of effort to convince you guys. So I learned the lesson from him that I shall not stand there and allow you to sit here alone. Otherwise you will also keep smoking. And then I will also feel a bit discouraged. The difference is he's a lawyer, he is a professor, we are lawyers. Most of the time, what happens, our job is stand in front of the court. You say, my lord, this is my submission, and Supreme Court says dismissed. It takes 90 seconds to get a case dismissed. Okay. Now, I was told that you had a lot of sessions on the human rights and its nuances, various aspects of human rights. Can anyone tell me in brief, what is human right? What is human right? Did someone explain to you? What's human right? Of course, mine is not that. I just wanted to know because human rights online, but we didn't need to know what is the human right physical to go online. No? Don't animals and the creatures have a right? So, is human rights only for human beings or for animals? Only for humans. Why? Yeah, tell me, why it's human? Acha, so animals are pehle se free. Okay, human rights basically is for human beings. Now, animals, they have rights. They have right basically from the presumption that they are beings, what they call is a sentinels. Beings only can feel pain, hunger, those basic instincts. So they are protected by welfare. There are cruelty against them is protected. So all those rights they have. Though we don't call animal rights, we say animal welfare programs. Now, we human beings, we have our rights because we live in a society where we can create, also manipulate, also convince the other, reflect and plan, and therefore these needs to be regulated. I don't know whether you have heard this famous saying, your freedom ends where my nose begins. I don't know whether, have you heard this? Your freedom ends where my nose begins, which means your freedom ends the moment mine comes in. So if I have the right to walk onto this corridor and someone else is coming from the other side, he or she has the same right as me, isn't it? So I can't push my way alone and say, this is my right. The other one who is coming from the other side would also say the same thing. Okay. Now, on a later, because the next slide, just next slide. This is basic. I thought I'll go into detail, but I realized at a wrong time to have a very long, detailed discussion on this. Just I put there 2-3 slides. Human rights belongs to all of us. Animals do have rights, which these days have become a lot more prominent. Basically, largely to protect them from being treated ill, being treated cruelly, is protected by these ones. Just in case if someone asks you, there are different stages, generations of human rights developments. And now, any guesses on what is the generation of human rights we are in now? There are different levels of understanding of human rights. Now we are in 4th level of human rights development. That's known as the digital level. It's developing and stage. It's a developing stage, and we are coming on to that. Okay, now we begin here. Human rights, rights online. Is access to internet a basic human right? How many say yes? Okay. And the others who also said no, what could be the reasons? Why it is not a basic human right? Yeah. Okay. Now, human rights in itself, internet or access to internet in itself is not a human right. Now, where does and when does it becomes a basic human right? When my access to internet interdependently disallows me from expressing my opinion. Now, internet these days is required for all of us to express my views, express my opinion, maybe to share my thoughts. Now, when that is together called as freedom of expression, freedom of speech, when those are not being given to me by way of blocking my internet access, internet becomes a right under human rights. So that is where internet becomes a human rights. Otherwise, internet in itself is not a human. Now, I'll share with you a few instances, and we would go other, because otherwise it would become heavier. Let's imagine we had a Don Bosco school or college event, and few girls were dancing along with a few boys. So like we used to have the freshers party. After the freshers party, there are dances, DJs. Normally, we all dance together. Now, let us imagine a scenario. One of your companion took those videos of boys and girls dancing together. He posted it online with a comment, beautiful girls available in Delhi. He posted in social media. Now, does of that video, one girl felt a little uneasy with that comment and the video. She says, I'm not too comfortable with this. I want it to be removed. Now, once you post in YouTube, it's gone from your hand. Now, can that girl get that video removed? Hmm? Batao? Yes, depends. Okay, why you say depends? Okay. No, you can sit. Okay. Okay. A friend of ours says that if she has higher connections and good networks, she can remove it. Of course, our country, as they say, we lawyers say, our country, all cases get importance with Gandhi, which means with the note, you get everything moved. So, in other words, he says, if you have got higher connections, higher up people, you can get it removed. What about the others? It's a real situation that's possible. It's not far away. I'm not speaking about a hypothetical. In fact, it had happened in one of our centers. Of course, the context was different. Yeah, you can sit and say, don't worry about it.
Imagine if the person uploads a video and anything without the consent of the girl, then he's in possession that he's now not the victim. The girl is the victim because the with the description he has uploaded is now change the context of the video. Okay, you told us like beautiful girls available in Delhi. What do you mean by that? First of all, and it's a basic human right. She can complain an FIR against a person, and the cyber cell. There's a cyber cell who checks all the things, and they will then go to the YouTube and they will remove it. It's a procedure.
Okay. Now there are 2-3 ways. What can the girl who's affected by this do is, you can write to, if it is published in YouTube, X or Insta, it doesn't fall under this, it comes onto the other platform. But any of these social media platforms, you can write. If it is in YouTube, you can write to YouTube saying that this particular content where I am seen very clearly and visible, dancing with my companions and friends, and I don't want that particular comment. To me, it's offensive. And when it's read together, it has got a bad connotation. So it affects me, and so I want it to be removed. YouTube will have to remove it. Now, that's the rule. Normally, a private complaint like this, they are supposed to respond to you and remove the video in 7 hours, 7 days. But now, in some cases, they will not do. Some of you might have experiences. You write to YouTube saying that there is when you watch YouTube, there is a 3 dots there below report. There you can do it. You can also otherwise write to YouTube. I have the details of these letters. How do we draft and write and send it across? So you can do that. And if they don't remove it, you need to be persistent. As he said, higher ups authorities. Instead of that, you need to be persistent, asking YouTube to remove this, and you need to show them that my face is visible in that video. So therefore, I want to be removed. Does the other girls, or do the other girls' consent required for removing this? Because I danced with the 4 or 5 girls, maybe other friends of mine. So if they say that we are comfortable with it, we don't want to remove, but one says I want it to be removed. Does it require their permission? No, it doesn't need their permission. And her offense is this. Now, what can you, or can we take action against the boy who posted it? Okay. Now, where do you complain? On a normal mechanism? Yeah. Now, that's where he said, even when you go to cyber complain, they will tell you how does this becomes an offense, because he has just put there this comment and the video is all of you dancing. So there you when you go to the police, they would tell you, the cybercrime people will tell you that this has only a dancing video, your companions are there, you are seen, but then their comment is there. But the law is, if there is a comment that is offensive and it corroborates with the video, when read together or seen together, can be a defamatory. So that's where you need to put your pressure on. These are all real situations. Now it looks hypothetical. When it happens, you would not know what to do. The another scenario, let's put the another scenario. I was walking through the Don Bosco campus, and then I see 5-6 of my friends are smoking and they were taking some drugs. So I quietly took their video. I took the video and then I posted it online, saying that let's say put a comment saying home for smokers Don Bosco, or you put there a hub for smoking or a conducive environment for smoking Don Bosco. Now, can those boys seen in the video, they were definitely doing an activity that is not right, raise alarm or raise complaint against the person who posted their video? They were doing an illegal activity or an activity that is not proper. Somebody took the video, uploaded it. Now the boys who are seen in the video, can they say that my right is violated? My human right is violated? No, yes, no. How many say no? So which means they cannot complain their rights. The others say that their rights are violated. Yeah, no, the last bench people. Hello, are you with us or you are somewhere else? The last ones, are you with us? Okay. Tell me, according to you people, do those people have a human rights and can raise a complaint? Why? They have their own decisions. Yeah, I'll come to that. That's a good point. See, that's why the great ideas always come from the back benches. See, no one who sits in the front benches will really have an idea. Thanks, buddy, for that. I'll come back to that point. Now, if some of you, yeah, yes, there was a microphone.
Clicking a picture or a video and reporting is one thing, and posting it on social media is another.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's the way to look at it. If you have seen somebody is doing an activity that can be rendered illegal, considered illegal, you can record it and give to the authorities of the school. But you do not have the right to post it online for the rest of the world to see and make a judgment. That is violation of their privacy. That is violation of their individual choices of doing an activity. Now that individual choice in itself, we are not legalizing it. That we are not saying it's right, but their right to protect them, what they did in private, remains. So now those boys have that right. Can Don Bosco file a case against this person, the student who put this? Why? Because it's the name of Don Bosco comes in the defamation. So whatever you post over internet. Now let me say one more scenario, then I'll go back. When you are in the evening, late hours, you are studying at home, then suddenly you get a video call. I don't know how many of you have experienced. You might get a video call from an unknown number. Just joined the college, you assume that a friend of yours is calling you for something, or by chance it so happened that it got clicked on the video button. So I picked the call. It comes sometime Monica, it comes Ravi or whatever. So I pick up the call. The other side happened to be a person, boy or girl, partially nude, no, partially naked. You realized it, but it took for a while for you to disconnect the phone. Then the next day morning, you get a message saying that, the screenshot. I will share this in social media. I will share this one with your brother. If you don't respond to me, if you don't continue the conversation with me, or if you do not reply to my messages. Now, what should we do in such situation? Should we continue the conversation with that person? Should we report it? Can you be legally liable for this? Now, when we say reported it, we can. I'm sure the college will have ample opportunity for you in the remaining 2 years to have a lot of debates on this. Now, what normal circumstances we as young people do is immediately you will delete that call details from your mobile. The next day the message comes, you would also delete it because you are scared. Now, deleting that would put you on a lower ground. Do not delete that. You should also share, save the screenshots of that and then inform the authorities. I'm not suggesting you to walk straight into the police station. You can use the cyber crime numbers that we have. I'm sure you all will have the cyber crime numbers. You can put that and then inform. None of these things in India are easy. You know what? In India, the punishment itself is not the punishment. For example, somebody can be jailed for a case. In itself is not a problem for a person. They say that be in jail for 3 years. It's a problem, but then it's not as tiring as the process of law in India is. The litigation process is very long. Therefore, when any one of us say that we can complain, I'm not suggesting or saying that it's very easy. But persistence is important in all of these things. Okay. Now, another scenario. You had a boyfriend. You broke off after a year with him. Okay. Don't worry if any one of you have done it, just ignore it. It's not you, it's some other people. So you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you broke off with him or her, you made another boyfriend. Now, let's put it this way. Let's say I had a girlfriend, I broke off with her, then she managed to find another boyfriend, who is somebody who is in the college itself. Now, every time when I see this boy and that girl together, as they say, the butterflies moves on my stomach. So I am little agitated. I won't say jealous because that's a term I don't think among jealous Gen Zs. I don't see so much of the word jealous. You say then you are not comfortable with that. So I can't go and tell this girl not to go around this boy. So what I do, I share some of our photos of that time with another friend of mine. ये देखो वो इनके साथ घूम रहे हैं, but we were together. This is our photo in Nehru Planetarium. This is our photo in the last time when we had gone to India Gate or whatever it is. Now, the third friend who gets that photo goes and shows that girl or that boy. Now, can that girl complain about me? Yes, the law says it's very straight. What I had taken the photos with her with the consent, that consent cannot be for sharing with the third person. That consent breaks with our breakups. You cannot say that you had given me consent, so it is mine. No, that consent breaks there and then. Then it doesn't have a permission to be shared with a third person, even if it is in WhatsApp. So that's where when you, these days, people cry for human rights violation when a group chat is published or group chat is shared with the third person. Because if we create a group, it means that we 5 of us are a group and we call the best 5 or besties of the College of Don Bosco. Now, if we are created a group besties and then we are posting messages, then one of us or one among us cannot share that screenshot to a third person who is not part of our group. That's again the violation of my right for privacy. I think it's tomorrow you have a very detailed judgment on Muthuswamy and the other, I think Shreya Singh cases are there. Those are all the cases, baseline cases where our human rights have been established more strongly here in India than otherwise. Okay. Let's say you wanted to go home today, 4:30, 3:30. That's your right to go home at 3:30. Now they kept a conference at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Does it violate your right as human beings? See, I'm happy that at least one point that you are all louder enough. Does it violate your right? See, so far I was misunderstanding that you guys are all good with the human rights. Now I realize, yeah, not all. Yeah. Then another thing, let's say this cannot be considered under the violation of human rights. You can't cry violation of human rights for an academic decision of an institution. So often we say that no, my right is violated because I am held back. Now your right will be violated if you are held back. All of you are held back without giving an opportunity to go out, without explaining your reason. You can also say that my rights are violated. But here it's an academic decision of the college. That's the same goes, like for example, there are multiple cases filed in the court on I am supposed to attend classes and get 70% of the attendance for my classes, and if I don't get attendance, I want to write the exam. Can I claim it under human rights? No, you cannot. But people often say, my right to education is violated, my human right is violated. One of the terms, remember, there's often violated today is the term called human rights, because everything is human right. So everything is human. So academic decisions, hey, calls outside, please. If you are making a call, please go out. No. Yeah, please. That's very good. That is, the basics of human rights is the ability to respect other human beings. See, that's correct. Now he can't say that I am pinned out. No, that's a disciplinary action, isn't it? He can't cry human right. My right is violated. I have been sent out of the class. You are sent out of the class for misbehaving. Now, the same way, can a teacher be blamed for punishing a student for not submitting the assignment? Can you blame the teacher? Yeah, tell me how. Okay. Yeah, the law goes like this. Any punishment given to the students There are corporal. Corporal means you beat a person, hit the boy with something. So then those punishments are not under the Right to Education Act, the basic right. You will get into trouble. The teacher would get into trouble. That's why you might have seen the teachers are being punished for throwing pen at the students, duster at the students. But now, if a teacher tells the student that I would reduce your mark for this, that's perfect. And if the teacher adds additional assignments for you for because you have not done this, that's also is perfect. But and then you can't say that there is also the law says physical and mental harassment by a teacher is not permitted. Now you can't say the teacher gave me additional assignment, it makes me mentally harassed. No, that's not the way the law goes. The law says considerable, reasonable justification of academic reason. If relevant, then that punishment by the teacher is not considered as a violation of human rights. Okay. What's the time now? I really see all of you are bit restless. How? 4:30. So which means another half an hour more you need to bed. Yeah. 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 Human rights. Yes. Yeah. That's true. Human rights violations come in. Yeah. Just put that, Papa, and I'll just show you only 1 or 2 slides towards the end. This has all been there. Just run it through. Just run it through. Run it through. Yeah, this is the slide on which I would not take further. I would not keep you further long on this. I have tried to put across to all of you. Let's wait for our guys. You have seen this? Yeah. See, I have a problem because I've grown in Don Bosco systems. Your chairman knows. See, we are very personal with the students. So when we lose the contact or eye contact with one person, then we stop there to get that boy along with us. So we all follow a revolutionary leader called Don Bosco. He was very personal with the young people. So that's way when one of you miss me, I feel sad. I feel, one missed me. So I come back to you people. Okay. So now this 4 areas we try to put it across, like we fall in love, we break up, we do everything these days online, except physical intimacy. The rest of the things these days happen online. Shopping, our marketing, everything has become online. We keep working online. Our jobs have become online. Our expressing opinions have become online. So now the 4th level of human rights that I was trying to explain to you as a digital human rights, platforms like online human rights, the topic like internet becomes a harm for a space for harm is actually real, because you do not have any life other than this. There's a very little of us who live on physical in our internet world. See, if you look at it, most of our things happens. There are a few of us, your professors, we are already part of bygone history. Now we are just stepping out, and then the new generation would have entirely on internet, entirely on a digital world. So therefore, it's important to be very cautious. They say, slay on the internet, but don't get preyed. Slay on the internet, but don't get preyed. Means, it not literally means slay means you go and kill, but don't get preyed. If you are not cautious, you would fall. Most of as a lawyer who's been practicing in the court, I tell you, most of the time, the victims of internet. I have a slide which says the number of young people who have been victims to crime, internet crimes, like college students. the number is very alarming. Not because they were unaware, not because they were not really sure about these rules and regulations. As most of you, they were also very familiar. But what happens is, see, all of these happens individually when you are alone. 12 o'clock, 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 p.m., all these happens. A space where you are absolutely alone, a time where you tend to act different than the other times. These are all the activities that happen. So most of the times, people who fall are people who are very well educated, very well informed about this. So my only suggestion on the question and suggestion is this: yes, internet is a space, a place where a lot of harm can happen. Your human rights, for that matter, let's put it as your rights. Your right as an individual can be violated much more easily than in the physical world. Physical world, the advantage is I see the one who is harming me. In digital world, they don't have a face. So you will be fighting an enemy who is unknown to you. So therefore, it's all the more important for us to be there. Then at any point, all these things happens to you, inform the immediate possible trusted person in the college, at home, or wherever you are. Your companion not necessarily be the best person. The reason is he or she may also would address you emotionally, would address you without harming you, because he is my buddy. So whatever he tells me, I believe. He is my bestie. So whatever I do shouldn't be hurting. If he has done something wrong, I should have the audacity, the love for telling him the truth that you are wrong. That's why the best way is to inform the trusted teacher. The best way to inform your parents if you are comfortable with them, or anyone whom you think has a stand in your life. That's the number one thumb rule that you need to keep in mind. The second one is, see, because it comes very, very, very thin way of differences. Let's ask you another thing. Is watching porn legal in India? So, which means if any one of you watch porn, you can be arrested. Huh? I know that this is not a very comfortable question, because people feel, oh, porn means no, I don't watch. Now, if that's the case, if that's the rule that is applied, I'm not saying that who all will be arrested, but at least check your Gmails and you will see there is an email from you because there is a case against you for watching pornography and things like that. There spam mails comes to you, even if you don't see, even if you don't watch. So if you watch, then you are supposed to be arrested, isn't it? Then why are you not being arrested? Huh? Okay, I will believe that none of you have watched ever. I'll believe, be that it may be. Watching, see, that's why I wanted to say only one point here. I don't want you to go and watch porn, but what I wanted to say, the thin line of rules and regulations in the country is very intimidating. At times, it's very inviting as well. When I say intimidating, it is very scary, but it's also inviting. Inviting in the sense, lot of limbos. Limbos means gray areas where you can. Now, the real rule of pornography in India is you can watch. There is absolutely no illegality on watching porn in India. But the word there is adult pornography. You do anything with the child pornography or download it, then you are caught. But now, if you watch an adult pornography online, it's it's not a crime in the country at the moment. Now that's where I said certain thin line of regulations and rules are there. If somebody, okay, one friend of mine who happened to enter into a porn site or in a site that is not proper, just out of curiosity. Now that day I get a call saying that I know, that's why I put a slide there before. I know where you were last night. I know which site you have visited. Now, if all of you are having at the back of your mind that this particular thing is illegal and you are convinced that it is illegal, you would bargain with that person because you know that you have made a mistake. So that is where it's important for us to be aware. Whatever happens online, whatever, get a support from a person who is elder to you. So when the decisions, the wrong moves are made, when I know that there is a possibility that I could have made a mistake. So that is where. So all these things comes in a very sugar-caned, very convincing manner. So the internet is a place for harm. It comes to you in a very sugar-coated, very convincing ways. Stay alert, slay online, don't get afraid. Don't get afraid. And your college, I mean, I am aware about the college, there are a lot of possibilities and facilities to help you out in these things if it happens. Make use of all that. No, very few elderly ones get into these crimes, but young students are more often victim to this. So I know quite many of you have been very passive in this, but it's okay. At least remember one thing: internet is a place for harm. There are a lot of possibilities. I'm thrusting it again. A lot of possibilities of harm, lot of possibilities of this thing. Inform elders if you think that you have made a wrong step. That's why I said because certain things we feel little shy to inform the other. It's like I have a daughter of your somewhat of your age. I tell her is let me be the first person whom do you say when you go wrong. So I tell her this way because I'm a lawyer. So whoever approaches me first becomes my client and my petitioner. So if somebody else comes, then you become a defendant. Then you have to justify. But when you approach me directly and say, Papa, I made this mistake, then you become my client, my petitioner. You know? Or if your friend, your mummy comes and tells me, then I would ask you, Delina, what's wrong? Why did you do this? Then you have to justify. The burden of responsibility, the burden of proof becomes of someone else. So keep that in mind. Be the first one to report to the people instead of waiting for others to find it out from your side. Okay. Sorry for being the obstacle for your going home. In fact, I made a mistake. I'll conclude with this. Actually, my slot was at 3 o'clock. I thought I'd be late in coming from the court. Then I shifted it from 4 to 5. Had I known this, I would have asked for a slot in the morning so that I would have had more better refreshed students than winding up students. Okay. Thank you so much. I've not run through the presentation, but don't worry, don't clap very loud. I'll come back to you some other time.
Henry Frederick Emil rightly quoted, thankfulness. Mic is not working. Henry Frederick Emil rightly quoted, Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. It gives me immense pleasure to express my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Linto KB, for taking time out of his busy schedule to share his knowledge, expertise, and valuable insights with us. This session, sir, has surely helped our students understand human rights online. The best part of today's session was how well you gathered the audience and made the discussion a two-way process. To thank the management, we are deeply grateful to our chairman, sir, Professor Sarjan M. George, our director, sir, Professor Vikas Rawadi, our CFO, Father Biju, our vice principal, ma'am, Professor Shalu Tandon, for their constant support, guidance, and encouragement in organizing such meaningful initiatives for our students. Our head of departments, program coordinators, and faculty members for their support and coordination. Special word of appreciation again goes out to Dr. Shruti Chopra and her technical team for pulling off an event of this strata. Last but not the least, my dear students, for your active participation and patient listening, sitting till 5 p.m. is truly commendable. A huge round of applause for you people. I now request all the dignitaries, faculty members, and students to please come on stage for a group photograph. All the students, all the faculties to please come on stage for a group photo.